On the morning of April 14th, President Xi Jinping met with Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez, who was on an official visit to China, at the Great Hall of the People in Beijing. Xi Jinping noted that despite a turbulent international environment, relations between China and Spain have continued to develop steadily. He emphasized that an important lesson in building a stable, strategic China-Spain relationship is making sound decisions based on shared interests. According to Xi, experience has shown that deepening cooperation serves the interests of both peoples, aligns with global trends, and strengthens each side's confidence in pursuing an independent development path. He stated that both countries should continue to place great importance on developing China-Spain relations within their respective foreign policies and support each other in safeguarding national sovereignty and territorial integrity. She explained that China maintains unified long-term strategic goals along with phased objectives, and continues to formulate and implement its 5-year plans with consistency and patience. He said that China is committed to advancing its own path to modernization, sharing development opportunities through a high level of openness, and contributing confidence and momentum to global economic growth through its own progress. She added that both sides should seize opportunities for joint innovation and development, strengthen cooperation in areas such as trade, new energy, and the digital economy, encourage exchanges in culture, education, scientific research, and sports, and work to achieve more outcomes within their comprehensive strategic partnership for the benefit of both peoples. She stressed that today's world is marked by uncertainty and is witnessing a contest between principles and power politics. He stated that a country's approach to international law and global order reflects its worldview, values, and sense of responsibility. She said China and Spain, as countries that uphold principles, should strengthen communication, build mutual trust, work together to reject power-based politics, support genuine multilateralism, safeguard the UN-centered international system, the international law, promote an equal and orderly multipolar world, encourage inclusive globalization, and help build a shared future for humanity. Sanchez stated that his visits to China over the past 4 years demonstrate the importance both sides attach to China-Spain relations. He noted that investment and cooperation by Chinese enterprises in Spain have effectively supported Spain's economic development. Spain firmly upholds the One China principle, places great importance on China's role as a major global actor, and remains committed to developing a stable, strategic partnership with China. Spain hopes to strengthen cooperation in areas such as trade, investment, and new energy, while promoting people-to-people exchanges. In the face of a complex international landscape marked by frequent conflicts and tensions, Spain believes that adhering to multilateralism and supporting the development of a multipolar world are essential for achieving lasting global peace. Spain actively supports the global initiatives proposed by President Xi Jinping and is willing to maintain close communication and cooperation with China to jointly address challenges such as geopolitical tensions, trade protectionism, and climate change while upholding international law and multilateralism. Spain opposes the emergence of a new Cold War, rejects decoupling and the severing of supply chains, and supports enhanced communication, understanding, and cooperation between Europe and China. Spain considers the sound development of EU-China relations to be in the shared interests of both sides and beneficial to global peace and stability. On the morning of April 14th, President Xi Jinping met with Abu Dhabi Crown Prince Khalid of the United Arab Emirates, who was visiting China, at the Great Hall of the People in Beijing. Xi Jinping stated that the UAE is China's comprehensive strategic partner and that China has consistently attached great importance to advancing its relationship with the UAE. He noted that with joint efforts from both sides, China-UAE relations have maintained healthy and steady growth, with deepened political mutual trust, steadily advancing practical cooperation, and vibrant people-to-people exchanges. She said that strengthening and further developing China-UAE relations reflects a shared commitment and aligns with the expectations of both peoples. He added that China is willing to work closely with the UAE to build a more stable, resilient, and dynamic comprehensive strategic partnership. She emphasized that both sides should continue to support each other on issues concerning their core interests and major concerns, maintain high-level exchanges, build strategic mutual trust, align development strategies, deepen mutually beneficial cooperation in areas such as energy, investment, trade, and science and technology, and promote further progress in education, civil aviation, tourism, and other fields to strengthen people-to-people ties. He called for enhanced coordination and cooperation on multilateral platforms such as the United Nations and BRICS, noting that the stability of China-UAE relations can help address uncertainties in the international and regional environment and contribute to building a community with a shared future for humanity. The two sides exchanged views on the current situation in the Middle East and the Gulf region. Xi Jinping emphasized China's consistent position of supporting dialogue and promoting peace, and reiterated that China will continue to play a constructive role in this regard. Xi Jinping outlined for proposals for maintaining and advancing peace and stability in the Middle East. First, he called for upholding the principle of peaceful coexistence. He stated that Middle Eastern and Gulf countries should work together to improve relations, promote the development of a shared, comprehensive, cooperative, and sustainable security framework for the region, and lay a solid foundation for peaceful coexistence. Second, he emphasized the importance of respecting national sovereignty. He noted that sovereignty is fundamental to the survival of all nations, especially developing countries, and must not be infringed upon. He stressed that the sovereignty, security, and territorial integrity of Middle Eastern and Gulf countries should be fully respected, and that the safety of personnel, facilities, and institutions of all countries must be effectively protected. Third, he called for adherence to the principle of international rule of law. He stated that upholding the authority of international law requires applying it consistently and avoiding actions that undermine it, so as to prevent a return to a might-makes-right approach. He emphasized the need to firmly support the UN-centered international system, the international order based on international law, and the basic norms of international relations grounded in the purposes and principles of the UN Charter. Fourth, he highlighted the importance of integrating development and security. He noted that security is a prerequisite for development, while development provides a foundation for lasting security. He said that all parties should help create favorable conditions for the development of Middle Eastern and Gulf countries and contribute positively to regional progress. She added that China is willing to share the opportunities arising from its own modernization with Middle Eastern and Gulf countries to help strengthen the foundations for regional development and security. Khalid stated that relations between Arab countries and China have deep historical roots, and that both sides have long maintained mutual respect, trust, and broad common interests. He said that the Arab side attaches great importance to developing its relationship with China, and is ready to work with China to implement the important consensus reached by the two heads of state, deepen cooperation across various fields, expand prospects for bilateral relations, and bring greater benefits to both peoples. He expressed appreciation for China's responsible and constructive role in international affairs and its efforts to help advance a political solution to the current Middle East crisis. The Arab side is committed to maintaining close communication and coordination with China, supporting efforts to achieve a ceasefire among relevant parties, restoring regional peace and stability as soon as possible, safeguarding the security of international shipping, and preventing further impacts on the global economy and energy security. The Afghan side stated that it will take effective measures to ensure the safety of Chinese citizens and institutions in Afghanistan. Wang Yi attended the meeting. President Xi emphasized the importance of establishing and practicing a correct approach to political performance, stressing the need to act in accordance with reality, follow the law, work for the benefit of the people, and achieve results through solid effort. In its study and education efforts on fostering a correct view of political performance, the 81st Group Army of the Army has focused on improving combat readiness, applying performance standards directly to frontline positions, emphasizing practical and realistic training, and continuously enhancing training quality and operational capability. In the Northern Sai region, a key point control exercise is being conducted by the reconnaissance detachment of a composite brigade under the 81st Group Army. During the exercise, a combat team integrating reconnaissance, firepower, engineering, and other elements supported by unmanned combat systems carried out an assault on key urban positions. Through integrated air and ground reconnaissance, coordinated manned and unmanned breaching operations, precision strikes by unmanned aerial platforms, and rapid entry by assault teams, the clearing and suppression tasks were completed efficiently, and the key objectives were secured. The unit has adopted a combat-oriented approach, using armored infantry squads as the basic operational unit, integrating manned and unmanned concepts, breaking down traditional professional barriers, and combining reconnaissance, firepower, engineering, and other capabilities to achieve more flexible formations and diversified operational methods. The ability to fight and win is described as the fundamental purpose of the Army's existence. Since the beginning of the year, in its study and education activities on establishing and practicing a correct view of political performance, the Group Army has worked to identify and eliminate formalism and inefficiencies, accelerated the development of advanced combat capabilities, and integrated learning, assessment, and reform throughout the entire educational process. In carrying out study and education on establishing and practicing a correct view of political performance, the party committee has taken the lead by studying first and studying in greater depth, identifying and addressing issues proactively, thoroughly correcting deviations related to readiness for combat, and ensuring that all efforts remain focused on operational preparedness.